I was chatting to a musical friend of mine recently. In fact, a couple of musical friends who do lots of creating, singing, performing, writing, everything. And I'm constantly reminded in different conversations about how no two people hear the same thing when they're hearing music. You know, how, like, obviously they're literally the same sound, but our brains are completely focusing on different things, you know. And if in the case of my friend, she's a really great singer and lyricist, and she does production as well. But her brain and her whole kind of focus really is on the melody and the lyrics and the vocal tone and that kind of stuff. And particularly, obviously, lyrics mean a lot if you're writing them and if you're connecting with an artist through their lyrics. Then that's something that you're going to focus on. But it's so not what I'm focused on. Lyrics do affect me, and obviously, I'm not completely closed off person to meaning and narrative, but when I'm listening to music, the thing that grabs me, the thing that gets me interested in what I'm focusing on and how I'm interpreting it is always the sounds, the feeling in the music, the emotion, the texture, the space, all the production stuff. And it's no wonder that I've ended up doing production and mixing, because that's always been where my fascination is. As a guitar player who's not into like showy off solos and stuff, I'm always interested in what role the guitar plays in music. Some of my favourite bands who are, you know, guitar orientated have quite inventive guitar playing, you know, like Radiohead, like, you know, Blur, or like some of the more indie rock stuff, or like post rock stuff, or shoegazy stuff. You know, the guitar plays a certain role there. But it's funny having conversations, you know, like about favourite music. It's made me think about, if you are an artist and you're writing music and creating music, like where, if you're a lyricist particularly, or if you're a vocalist, how much are you thinking about the other stuff, the music, the tone, the space, the sound, all of the production-y things, instrumentation, arrangement, that's all under the umbrella of production. Are you concerned about the drums, volume and the tone and what the drum sounds are and what the drums are playing? Or do you just put some drums in and think, yeah, that's cool, good drums, let's crack on with the next thing? You know, how much of your attention is on that? You know, I'm talking particularly with people who are maybe like not in bands and stuff, like solo artists, but because my blind spot is lyrics, maybe I just don't concern myself too much with lyrics. They do affect me at some point. I enjoy them, but you know, and certain artists you just can't ignore, like, you know, what the lyrics are. But yeah, how much are you focusing on it? Are us producers there because of that lack of focus? And you know, where that kind of go between the artist who we collaborate with to create something that's gonna like be interesting to everyone, not just people who like lyrics. So we're all about like putting the sounds in the right place with the right arrangement, so everyone likes it. So the person who's listening to the drums and the ear candy and the synthesizers and stuff, it's like they're getting there what they need. The people who like melody and catchy lyrics and sing along bits are getting what they need, and it's all being sort of shaped in a way that's going to give people what they need, you know, what they connect with. So what do you connect with when you listen to music, and when you're making music, how much of that are you thinking about? You know, just curious, really. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you feel like a producer is someone who could do that for you.